The night Sudip decided to steal from the old Haveli, the rain was falling like a warning from the sky. Each drop hit the broken tiles with a sharp sound, echoing in his chest like a countdown to his fate. He had stolen many times before, but tonight felt different. Tonight, the darkness felt heavier, as if it already knew what he was about to lose. Sudip was not born a thief. Hunger had taught him that skill. Growing up on the streets, he learned early that dreams do not feed an empty stomach. His mother's last words still rang in his ears, telling him to live honestly, no matter how hard life became. But honesty never paid the rent, and so Sudip learned to survive in the shadows, taking just enough to live another day. The Haveli belonged to Malik Pratap Singh, a man feared for his wealth and power. People said he had a heart of stone and eyes that could see through lies. Sudip had studied the place for weeks. Guards changed shifts at midnight, the back gate creaked when opened, and the main hall was usually empty after dinner. Everything was planned. What Sudip had not planned for was Sonali. Sonali stood in the corridor holding a lantern, her eyes wide with shock as she saw Sudip frozen in front of her. For a moment, neither of them moved. The rain outside filled the silence. Sudip's hand tightened around the small pouch he had already stolen, ready to run. But Sonali spoke first, her voice trembling yet calm. "You don't belong here," she said. Sudip expected screams, maybe guards. Instead, there was only curiosity and something else in her eyes. Sadness. He lowered his gaze, shame burning his chest. He wanted to lie, to threaten, to escape. But the words that came out surprised even him. "I'm sorry." That apology changed everything. Sonali was Malik Pratap Singh's daughter, but she lived like a prisoner in her own home. Wealth surrounded her, yet freedom was denied. Her father controlled every breath she took, every decision she made. She was educated, kind, and deeply lonely. In Sudip, she did not see a thief, she saw a broken man standing at the edge of desperation. Instead of calling the guards, Sonali quietly led Sudip to the servant's exit and told him to leave before anyone saw him. As he stepped into the rain, Sudip looked back, their eyes meeting for a brief second. In that moment, something unspoken passed between them, something fragile and dangerous. Days passed, but Sudip could not forget her. The weight of that night pressed on his heart. He returned the stolen pouch anonymously, leaving it at the gate. For the first time in years, he felt the need to do something right. Sonali noticed the pouch the next morning and knew it was him. From that day on, their lives became quietly connected. They began meeting in secret, exchanging only a few words at first. Sudip would stand outside the boundary wall, and Sonali would listen from the other side. Their conversations were simple, about dreams they had buried deep inside. Sudip spoke of wanting a life where he did not have to hide. Sonali spoke of wanting a life where she could choose. Their love grew slowly, built on shared pain and silent understanding. But the world around them was cruel. Malik Pratap Singh discovered Sudip's presence and ordered his men to teach the thief a lesson. Sudip was beaten and warned to stay away. Bloodied and broken, he decided to disappear, believing Sonali would be safer without him. Sonali waited for him every night, her heart breaking with each passing day. When she learned what her father had done, something inside her snapped. She confronted Malik Pratap Singh, her voice shaking but firm. For the first time, she stood up to him, accusing him of mistaking control for protection and fear for strength. Malik Pratap Singh saw in his daughter's eyes the same fire he once had when he was young, fighting poverty and injustice. Memories he had buried resurfaced. He realized that in protecting his wealth, he had lost his humanity. The thief he hated was only a reflection of the man he once was. Meanwhile, Sudip, weak and hopeless, planned to leave the city forever. Before he could, he was summoned to the Haveli. Fear gripped him, but he went, ready to face whatever awaited him. To his surprise, Malik Pratap Singh stood before him, not with anger, but with regret. Malik offered Sudip a chance to change his life, not as charity, but as trust. He offered him honest work and, more importantly, his blessing to see Sonali, not as a secret, but with dignity. Tears filled Sonali's eyes as she realized love had softened a heart she thought was unbreakable. The challenges did not end there. Society whispered, judged, and mocked the bond between a thief and a rich man's daughter. Sudip struggled to prove himself, working harder than anyone else, fighting the shadows of his past every day. Sonali stood by him, choosing patience over comfort, courage over fear. In time, Sudip earned respect, not because of where he came from, but because of who he became. Sonali found freedom, not by running away, but by standing her ground. Malik Pratap Singh learned that true wealth lies not in possessions, but in forgiveness and understanding. Their story was never about grand gestures or perfect endings. It was about two people taking small, brave steps toward each other. Ghut, the 2 sips of courage they took, changed their lives forever. And in the end, their love proved a simple truth: no matter how deep the darkness, a little kindness can rewrite destiny.